I want you to picture yourself, your body, as a castle. It's a massive castle, and it has a lot of rooms, a lot of bedrooms, bathrooms, private rooms, all sorts of stuff. Dungeon, attic, you name it. But it also has a lot of open spaces, has a huge living room and a lot of hallways. You've seen the old castles in the movies. Now, I want you to imagine bringing people into this castle, and I want you shoving them into the bedrooms. Pack them in as much as you can into those bedrooms, down into the dungeon, up into the attic, everywhere. Okay, just pack them in there as tight as you can. Okay, but not a single one is allowed to be in the hallways or in the open areas. Just shut all those doors, lock them in. Okay, now you're getting ready to buy that castle, and you hire an inspector, and you tell the inspector, I want you to inspect that castle. Just don't go into the rooms. Just don't go into any of the rooms. I don't care what the rooms look like. Just do the castle. Just do the inspection. The inspector goes in there, and he walks into the living room, beautiful hallways, beautiful terrace, beautiful yard, the whole bit. And he comes back and he goes, everything's perfect. That is exactly what is going on with you and your doctors. If you've never been here before, my name is Marie. I am a naturopath. I'm an herbalist. I'm also a massage therapist and a detoxification specialist. And I want to help you understand what is going on with your iron, your ferritin, all this stuff, because there's so many ideas out there, so many theories. This is how we're going to take care of it. This is how, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, this isn't rocket science. It should not be this hard. Okay. And I know there's a lot of you that are going to go, but Marie, I'm having to have blood transfusions. Okay. So let's start with the blood transfusions. The blood transfusions are a Band-Aid. If you go to my last video, you are going to see where all of this kind of connects together. Okay. So you need certain things to move your iron. Okay. So we're going to pretend that all those people that you have shoved in those rooms are iron. Okay. They're all made out of iron. And your doctor is only inspecting the hallways, the balconies, and the open areas. So he's sitting there saying, oh, you are anemic. You are horribly anemic. And you're sitting there going, oh no. So we're going to do a blood transfusion. We're going to get you some blood with iron in it. And they're going to throw people into your hallways and into your living rooms. And these people are going to go, wait, but it's empty in here. And they're going to find the first bedroom and they're going to go, ooh, more people. I'm going to go in here. So after a couple of months, maybe it could even take up to a year or two, you're right back where you started. You're anemic all over again, needy. I've known people that have had to have iron infusions and blood transfusions, like once every 2 years, once a year, because this is not working. So it's like, where is that iron going? Nobody asked that. And you should be asking, where is that iron going? It's going with the other iron. It's, it's magnetic. It's going, hey, I'm going to go over here. Okay. So if you watch my last video, last Friday, you know that there are 4 things that you absolutely need to take in order to start moving this. Okay. Because these are the keys to those doors. All those doors are locked. You have all that iron stuck behind those doors. You have nothing flowing. Okay. Those hallways, that open field, that living room, all that is your circulatory system. It's where, that all that good energy is supposed to be flowing, but it's not. It's trapped. It's trapped in the organs. It's trapped in all sorts of places. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a key and you're going to open it up. Okay. And this is why you start having these high ferritin levels and all this. This is trapped iron. Okay. Iron and copper, man, they got to flow together. So a lot of people will sit there and say, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and take copper and that'll take care of it. If I take copper, that'll take care of my iron. No. Okay. If I just take iron, that's going to take care of my iron. No. Okay, so I hope I'm like not getting ahead of myself, because in my mind this stuff makes sense, but I have to understand that I have to break it down, because when I first started out, none of this stuff made sense to me, but now it just makes perfect sense. So I try to still break it down to where anyone can understand it, because I never want to be, you know, one of those doctors that talks above you and you don't understand. I've never liked that, because I've always thought that that was just so rude and pompous and disrespectful. So what you want is, you want the key to open up these rooms and start letting that iron out, and walk the halls and sit in the living room and enjoy itself, so you can start getting that energy back, right? Because iron is energy, and it's that energy that is trapped in all these organs and all these rooms in your castle. This is your castle, and it's not going anywhere. Okay. So people believe that, oh, iron will give you iron, and it's not. What you need is a source of vitamin D that the liver can convert into how it makes its hormone D, so that it can start flowing through the system. And it also needs a form of copper, so that that copper can flow and escort that iron through. And you also need to support your muscles during this, and your skeletal system, because calcium also flows with iron. It also flows with copper. So we are an interconnected system, and that's just how it flows. So if you go back to my last video, you're going to see that you are going to need beef liver. Okay, beef liver is what's going to give your liver that vitamin A that you need. Okay, for your eyes, for your brain, for your liver to start transforming what it needs. You're going to need cod liver oil. You're going to need magnesium glycinate before you go to bed at night to support your system. And you are going to need a form of vitamin C, and it cannot be ascorbic acid. It has to be a natural, okay, because we're trying to feed the natural ecosystem. We're not feeding a synthetic ecosystem. We're trying to feed a very old machine, and it's a very natural ecosystem, and that's what we want to do. So we want to feed it Camu, okay, or rose hips. Those are two forms of very natural vitamin C. Are they more expensive? Of course they are, because they know that that is the good form, right? They're going to sell you ascorbic acid all day long for $3, because they know that doesn't do anything, right? It's just not the complete form of vitamin C. So when you take these four supplements together, the magnesium is always taken apart. The magnesium glycinate should be glycinate. Magnesium glycinate needs to be taken at night, and the other supplements are taken during the day. And you need your copper, okay? You can't just go out there and say, I'm going to take any copper. No, it has to be copper byglycinate, okay, in order to escort that iron, right? There's just certain people want to be escorted a certain way, and that iron has to be escorted a certain way. It's a skeleton key, and you need each skeleton to click in there to be able to open it. So now you stay on this for 6 months, and it starts feeding your system what you need. Okay. And as I said in my last video, one of the first things that you're going to notice when this starts happening, I mean, I've already been through the whole program, so I already know. you're going to start having sinus dripping. Okay, this tells you that your iron has now started moving. Okay, it may not show up in the tests yet that the doctors have, but you can guarantee that once you start having that sinus drip, it normally lasts 1 to 3 days. That's what all my clients have told me. It normally will last 1 to 3 days. You get that sinus drip, and okay, this is working now. Okay, so when you have that iron really rolling through your system, okay, I started noticing because I did it, and after a while, I use white towels. I am anal about keeping my white towels white. Okay, so I will, you know, I use all sorts of stuff to keep them white. And one day I was getting out of the shower and I looked at my towel and I'm like, what is all this stuff on my towel? And it looked like somebody had taken a piece of iron and just rubbed it. Literally, it was like that iron color, that rusty iron color, like when iron rusts. And I was like, what is going on here? And then my granddaughter pointed out to me, it's not only on the towels, it's also on the inside of the shower curtain. And I was like, what? I looked at her towel. It was not on her towel. It was just on my towel. So at this point in time, I had already been on the program for 6 months. I had been on the protocol for 6 months, and my body was now full of iron, just full of iron. And I have all this energy. I'm like, I got all this energy now, right? And what to do with all this excess energy. And when I started noticing on the towels, I would, oh, yeah, yeah. You can smell a little bit of iron in there. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And also, when you go to the bathroom, you will also smell it. You'll smell that iron, that nice abundance of iron. What's funny about this whole thing is not once did I ever take iron. Okay, so the thought that iron begets iron is crazy. So the iron that you're being given causes constipation. You don't want that. Okay, so when you incorporate this protocol into your system, you are going to be able to go to the bathroom naturally. You're not going to get constipated. You are going to build up your iron. You're going to build up your copper. You are going to support your adrenals the way they are supposed to be supported with that vitamin C, because that's what we're doing. We're supporting those adrenals. We're supporting our muscles. We're supporting our calcium. And then all of a sudden, within 6 months, we are going to start getting different numbers when we have blood tests done. Now, I've had a lot of people come to me when we started this protocol that had kidney disease. And one of the things that they all said was, hey, this is improving my GFR numbers. How bizarre is that? But it's not bizarre at all, because one of those bedrooms that is stuffed full of people is your kidneys. And when you open that door and allow those people to come out and flow in the hallways, then that room has more energy flowing through it. So as the energy flows better through your kidneys, your kidney function is going to improve. The same with your liver, the same with your lungs, the same with every other organ that has had that iron trapped in there. So if you are anemic, if you are, if you have like the high ferritin levels, this is that iron getting stuck. The iron is somewhere getting stuck. Okay. And you need to start letting that flow, because it starts doing damage. It starts doing damage to your kidneys, to your liver, to your gallbladder, to your pancreas, your brain, your eyes. Okay. All that stuff. It starts affecting that, especially your liver, because your liver so badly wants to convert that. So we keep adding more and more and more iron into the body when the iron is already there. Just like last week's video, I said the vitamin D, okay, or that form of D that needs to be converted by the liver is already there. Okay, we are adding more stuff and it doesn't make sense. because if you're adding more iron and more iron and more iron, and then people are sitting there going, oh, well, what happened to it 3 months from now? Why are you getting another blood transfusion? Why are you needing more iron? You just got iron. Is there a leak? Where is the leak at? It's not that there's a leak. They're just joining the other people in the bedrooms and the dungeon and the upstairs and all the rafters. They're hiding out with them because it's like, I don't have a magnet, but it's like they're connecting with each other. It's like, I'm going there. That's where the party's at. It's not out here in the empty hallways. It's not out here. So your doctor is doing the inspection and checking and saying, oh, you have no iron, because they're checking the hallways and they're checking the blood. Yeah, it's not there. It's stuck in the organs and stuck everywhere. It's not supposed to be stuck. So the minute you start rolling that out, you are going to feel so much better. Your kidneys are going to start working better. Your liver is going to start working better. Your eyesight is going to be better. You're going to not have all those floaters and all that, it looks like you got junk on there, and everything else. Not only that, but you also have to take into consideration that when copper and iron is stagnant, it attracts parasites. Okay, they are metals. They attract parasites. So when they are moving, they do not attract parasites. They actually do the opposite. They kill parasitic infections within the body, because copper can kill parasites and iron can kill parasites, but not if it's stagnant. Okay, so it clears everything. Think of when you use a piece of copper in a swimming pool, how nice it keeps that water. It's I can't say it enough. We are an ecosystem, people. We are an ecosystem. And the sooner we start looking at ourselves as an ecosystem, we're going to start to realize how we function. And those out there. So I have a lot of people that come to me, and I'm talking a lot. I'm talking, if I do 200 consultations a year, maybe 140 of them have issues with iron and iron deficiency and ferritin and, anything, any of that, and something to do with the blood. Something is not right. Okay. And that is usually why. So I usually put them on the protocol. Done. It's 6 months later. It's like night and day on their lab tests. Okay. Because this is what works. I've put all the video. I've put all the links, because I know that you guys always ask me, Marie, you didn't tell me what to get, or you start contacting me, hey, what brand should I get? So this is why I put the links for you guys. Not so much that you have to go buy there. You can go take a look at the product. And if you see the product and you can buy it at your local health food store, then do so. You do not have to buy from the links that I tell you to buy. I just put them underneath the video for your convenience. So if you want to go to Amazon, you want to get them all together, that's fine. If you want to go buy on eBay, I don't care. Those don't matter to me. What matters to me is getting you to the health that you need to be, without buying all this stuff. Listen, there is a lot of people right now. Once you get on this protocol and you start doing the protocol, you're going to notice there is a lot of people right now catching on to this. Okay. I put the protocol out maybe a little over a year ago. There's a lot of people catching on to it. And there's a lot of people sitting there going, hey, hang on. I'm going to mix this, and this, right? I'm going to put the magnesium and all the, the beef livers and the fish oils and everything. And I'm going to put it all in one pill, and I'm going to charge you $150 to do that. Okay. So don't get played that way, because there's a lot of people going that route right now. They're not telling you it's a copper protocol. What they're doing is they're mixing all their own stuff and selling it to you with a different name. And, it's just buy the stuff, separate yourself, and you'll save a lot of money. So basically what you want to do is you want to support your liver with the cod liver oil and the beef livers. You want to support your adrenals with some sort of adrenal cocktail, and you want to support your muscle structure and your nervous system with something like magnesium glycinate or magnesium byglycinate. Okay. Also, if you see the links that I put down and they're like, I put magnesium glycinate, and that magnesium glycinate is too expensive for you, find another magnesium glycinate that does work for you as long as it's magnesium glycinate. The same with the copper byglycinate. If the copper byglycinate is too expensive for you, go Google copper byglycinate, and that's when you know the video is getting too long. And go with that. Go with what works for you. I'm also going to be adding the link to the actual protocol if you want to purchase it. It will take you step by step by step by step how to do it. The only thing that has changed on that protocol is that I now suggest people to do it for 6 months instead of the short term, which is like, I think 3 months was the original protocol. So you want to do it the original protocol, you want to drop off that copper, and you want to continue the protocol until 6 months. Okay, so that's it. Now, what happens when all these people, what happens when this party gets started? What happens when you open all those doors and all these people are now in your hallways and your living room and they are just congesting your house? Now we need to talk about how are we going to get rid of all these people out of your castle? So you don't want all these people. I mean, you want a few people, okay? You want a few people sharing your space. You got enough room for that. But you don't want, 8,000 people in your home like this taking up your space, because now they don't want to be in the bedrooms. Now they want to be in the open spaces. And now they're taking up your TV time and everything else. So my next video, I'm going to teach you guys, once you've been on the protocol for 6 months, how are we going to deal with all that iron we now have in our system? What are we going to deal with? How are we going to deal with all that iron that we now have in our ovaries? Because now we're in menopause and now we've got all this iron and all this old estrogen that has built up in our ovaries. What are we going to do with this? Because now they're affecting us, and you got people telling you that you need to go get bioidentical hormones, which I've never been on. I've never been on anything to regulate my hormones. And I've been in menopause for a while, 23 years. Okay. I went into surgically induced menopause. I've never taken anything for that. And so now, next video, that's where I'm going to take you. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, if you have high ferritin levels, or you're having menopausal issues, or anything like that, I'm going to show you what I had to do. I had to start doing to get all that extra iron out of my body that it was dumping out through my skin, and it was getting on my towels and my shower curtain. So be sure to join me next Friday, 6 Mountain Time, right here on A Place to Heal. And if you're ever interested in any of my supplements or creations that I make, or any of my herbal tinctures that I make, you can always find them at aplacetoheal.store. See you next week. Bye-bye. Stay happy, stay healthy.